All right, welcome. Today we are diving into what is, for real, your body's powerhouse, the glutes. We're going to explore a surprisingly common problem that could be holding you back, and then we'll reveal the secret weapon to unlock your full potential.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We're starting with an issue that affects literally millions of us, and honestly, you might not even realize it's happening to you right now. I know. It sounds like a total joke, right? But believe it or not, dead butt syndrome is a very real condition, especially if you spend a big chunk of your day sitting down, at a desk, in the car, you name it.
So the fancy medical term is gluteal amnesia. And here's what's going on. When you sit for hours on end, the muscles at the front of your hips, your hip flexors, they get all short and tight. And in response, the muscles on the other side, your glutes, get stretched out and basically just switch off. They kind of forget what their main job is.
And you know, the weird thing is, the consequences can pop up in all these unexpected places. If you've ever felt that strange numbness after sitting for a while, or you're dealing with that nagging pain in your hips, your lower back, or even your knees, well, that could be a huge sign that your glutes are asleep on the job.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, first things first, we got to get properly introduced to the muscles we're actually talking about, because it's not just one muscle, it's a really powerful team.
See, your glutes aren't just one big muscle. Nope, they're actually a group of 3 different muscles, and each one has a super critical job to do. And as you can see here, the gluteus maximus is the dominant player for sure. It's the biggest part of the group.
All right, first up, we've got the big one, the star of the show, the gluteus maximus. This is the largest muscle in your entire body. It's the main engine that gives you the power to do things like stand up, walk, and run.
Next, we have the gluteus medius. You can think of this one as your personal stabilizer. It's the muscle that keeps your pelvis steady so you don't wobble all over the place when you're walking or standing on one leg. And finally, rounding out the team, we have the smallest of the group, the gluteus minimus. It works right alongside the medius, like a trusted partner to provide that absolutely crucial stability for your entire lower body. Certified personal trainer Karen Feeks really just hits the nail on the head here. She says this trio is the foundation. They aren't just for looks, they give you the stability and the power you need to just get through your day.
Okay, so now that we've met the team, the big question is, how do we wake them up from their nap and get them working again?
You know, the best way to start is probably the simplest. Seriously, just sit less. Try setting a timer, maybe for every hour. When it goes off, just get up. Take a little walk, do a few stretches, anything to remind those muscles what they're supposed to be doing.
Now, for a more targeted approach, you cannot beat the supine bridge. It's one of the most effective activation exercises out there. The key, the absolute magic, is in step 4, that powerful squeeze at the top. That's you telling your glutes, hey, wake up, get to work. And hey, to really round out your activation routine, you got to throw in exercises like fire hydrants and clamshells. These are fantastic because they specifically target those smaller stabilizing muscles, the medius and minimus, which are so important for your long-term hip health and stability.
All right, so your glutes are awake, they're firing on all cylinders. Now it's time to build some serious strength. And this, my friends, brings us to one of the biggest debates in the entire fitness world. I'm talking about the ultimate showdown, the classic, time-tested squat versus the super popular hip thrust. When it comes to glute development, which one is the true king?
Well, what's fascinating is that the research gives us a pretty clear answer. It really just depends on your goal. If you want to improve your athletic performance, run faster, jump higher, then the squat is your best friend. But if your goal is specifically about making the glutes bigger, what we call hypertrophy, then the studies are clear. The hip thrust is the winner. It just activates that gluteus maximus more.
But here's the thing. Whether you're team squat or team hip thrust, there's another piece to this puzzle, and that's frequency. A huge 2016 analysis found that the magic number for muscle growth is 2. Hitting a muscle group twice a week really is the sweet spot.
So really, the takeaway here isn't to pick one over the other. The best strategy is to use them both. It's like a 1-2 punch. You build that foundational strength and power with your squats, and then you isolate and maximize that glute growth with hip thrusts.
Okay, now for the secret weapon, and I mean it. This is the thing that separates pretty good results from unbelievable results. And it has absolutely nothing to do with how much weight you're lifting. It's all about what's happening up here, in your brain.
It's called the mind-muscle connection. And look, all this really means is that you consciously focus on the specific muscle you're trying to work.
So instead of just kind of mindlessly going through the motions, you actively think about and feel your glutes contracting and squeezing through every single repetition. And let me tell you, this is not just some gym bro theory, okay? It is backed by actual science. A 2017 study found that lifters who were told to really focus on the muscle they were working saw way more muscle growth over 8 weeks compared to a group that just focused on moving the weight.
I mean, even the greats, the absolute legends of bodybuilding, swear by this. Arnold Schwarzenegger famously credited his incredible physique to this intense mental focus, saying he visualized the muscle growing with every single rep he did. So there you have it. By waking up your glutes, combining smart exercises like squats and hip thrusts, and then really focusing your intention with that mind-muscle connection, you're not just working out, you're intelligently building a stronger foundation for everything you do. Your glutes are awake. The only question left is, what are you going to ask them to do?